Professional day trading education and high level trade analysis and dissection, you've come to the right place. My name is Pat Mitchell. I have been a trader for the past 11 years, and I'm here to give you high level professional day trading all for free on YouTube and on X. So today we're going to be going over a masterful plan, if I don't say so myself, and resulted in a quite pretty large profit for a fairly small move, but I'll exactly explain why. And give me one sec. Let's fire up these charts. Sorry, guys. I got something in my eye that is really distracting me. One sec here, guys. Gonna fire up these charts. I hope you all had a wonderful day. Okay. Okay, so it was a one chart type of trade day today. We really wanted to attack SPY this morning. SPY was setting up really, really nice. And I want to point something out. So we were going to be opening up just below a major resistance level. Not only just the previous close and high of day, but we did have something nice to risk off of, and it did. It came right into this day's high if you take a look at where my cursor is. There's also a little bit of a trend there. So there's lots of resistance. So anytime that happens, you have to realize that, yes, it might break that level, but it is going to have to bump its head and test and test and test. So therefore, that's opportunity. If we know this, we know it's going to come up and test that level, meaning that's where we can get an entry. We can snipe those entries, and it's going to pull back to test a level of support. It's going to pop, pull back, pop, pull back, pop, pull back. It's going to do that at least 3 times. Now, it doesn't have to do it 3 times. It can do more. It can do a little bit less, but it's generally in that area of 3 times. That tells me that there are 3 opportunities to make your money on the morning, all within the first half an hour to about 45 minutes. Then that's when it's going to choose its direction. It's either going to pick directional up or directional down. And for it to come up into this next level, that is a huge possibility because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 areas of resistance, 4 areas that shorts can get involved with the trade. So there's also areas down here for longs to get involved, as well as up here at that previous close. And you could see it with this candle. So right around when numbers were released, they ticked it below this level and then the previous close, which is right there. Okay. So as soon as it does that, it stops out all the retail traders that are dumb as fuck that don't know how to have any type of risk or stop in place where it's just an immediate stop because it breaks that level. If you are doing that, you need to cut that shit out and come get properly trained. You need to understand to give yourself some risk. So on this here, as soon as it snaps, I was able to get some really nice sells. Okay, so now that I've given you a little bit of context to the trade, because that's what I want to do with this channel, is let you guys understand why I'm taking this trade, why you see so many entries, why do you see the conviction that you do? Because of the level of resistance. And sure, it might break out higher, which it did, but that's fine. I know it's going to have to test that multiple times. So that tells me I have multiple opportunities to make my money. Now, sure, one could make the argument, and some of you, and I want to cover this before I go over this trade, some of you may be wondering, well, why didn't you just take it long? Well, ask yourself why you would be taking it long if we're opening up below support. You're opening below resistance, right? You're not above support. We don't long resistance. Do you understand? And where do you risk off of? Your risk would have to be somewhere in this neighborhood. That would be your closest level down. Or the longs that we were looking for were the 5 EMA, which was somewhere around here at that time, and then the 9 EMA somewhere in this area at that time in the morning. Those were the longs that were properly on deck. If you're going long down here just because it's holding no support, there's no support there, you're basically taking setup. There's no strategy there. You're not thinking about risk, and you're going to get yourself into fucking trouble. So what you need to be doing when we open up below resistance, we short resistance. if you open above support, you can go long into support. We don't take it long under resistance. That's insanity. You will end up losing more often than you gain. 100%. You will not make it long term if you do that. So, just some little words of advice there. So, that's why we didn't go long. We can all look at these charts in hindsight and take a look and be like, oh, should have taken it long. It was holding. Yeah, but what is it holding? It's holding nothing. There's nothing there, right? There's no proper level of support. You're holding a maybe some intraday, right? So how much volume do you have? Not a lot when it comes to support and volume, right? So I would always err on the side of if we're below resistance, I'm going to short that resistance, right? So although you see a level here, this here is high of this range, right? That's where your major resistance is. Anything above that is way up here. That's your next level of resistance. So we have all of this protection. Make your money here. Don't worry about the rest of this. Because at this point, it can very easily come up, but it can very easily come down. And we're not in this to be a part of a guessing game, right? And I think a lot of traders don't realize that they're in a guessing game and they're literally just like throwing shit up against the wall to see what sticks instead of working legitimate strategy. So now let's go over the trade. So market opens up, pushes up into this level. As it comes into that level, I am executing. And I even said, because of the level of protection here, we have previous close, high of day, previous close, and then we have that range high. All of those levels of resistance, I said, as soon as we get a green candle, meaning it cannot come down. If it comes down, there's another setup that I can get involved with, right? But if it comes up, I will start averaging in because of the level of protection, right? That's like betting that, like, if you don't start in there, it's betting that you think it's going to break through like 3 physical brick walls. Like, you could punch through 3 physical brick walls. What are the odds of that, man? Like, pretty fucking low. So we start in as soon as it starts coming up because we short pops. We don't short weakness, we short strength. So as it's coming up into that level, let me get this cleaned up. I start in here, which is previous close, pushes through into this, and I'm just averaging into that range. Beautiful. Paid myself on the downswing, and then just simply waited for a little bit. I wanted to see what it was going to do. So bided my time, executed here, paid myself here. So execute here, pay myself here. That's the secondary. And then I just start playing with this chart, until finally she comes in. And every time it washes, I'm paying myself and then get rewarded for working that trade. And there was a few things that I happened to notice live that I let members know that even though it looks like it's strong at the moment, obviously later, that's a different story. But at the moment, it was going to have a sell and we would see speed incoming. In fact, I do believe that where I said that was right in this area, right in here. I said, we're going to have speed incoming. And for those of you that aren't members, you wouldn't know, but that means we're going to sell off real hard and fast. And that's what it did. And then I'm getting prepared to take my sells. Boom. I only had 9 contracts left at this point. I was actually giving a lesson and then finally stopped out the rest. So locking in $10,106. Absolutely incredible morning, all within the first about 35, 40 minutes of the market open. So if you want to learn how to do this professionally and like legitimately, come to tricktrades.com. Not only are you going to learn how to do this, but you're going to work with a coach that actually gives a shit and wants to get you to your goals. Okay. And has a knack for teaching and can actually get through to you. Those are pretty rare qualities out there if you really think about it. And if you don't, that's okay. Nobody's forcing you here to join my service. If you don't want to, that's fine. Please continue to enjoy my free stuff, but you do have to like and you do have to subscribe. I think that's only fair. And that's fine to enjoy the free stuff. It's just going to take you longer. You have to understand when you watch free YouTube videos, it is going to take you longer. And I'll explain why really quickly before you tune off. I may put out an advanced video. Then the next day I might put out a super beginner video, and then novice, intermediate, advanced, beginner. It's all over the place. You're going to have to piece that shit together. And a lot of these are trade specific educational points. So if you feel like you're not in a rush and you have all the time in the world to make your claim as a trader, by all means, enjoy the free stuff. But for those of you that are serious, come to tricktrades.com. Adios, folks. Hope you have a wonderful evening. Ciao.